everything's provided. You just
Yeah.
kind of have to want to do it, you know?
And I think when Kathy was on, we kind of talked about it. It's also like a hobby. So
It
like,
is.
for example, now you're becoming like a more and more advanced foster because now you know how to bottle feed. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Lifeline Podcast. Today we have Andi, who is one of our foster moms and also volunteers. So thank you so much, Andi, for coming on. It was very last minute, and she was like, yes, I'm ready to do it. So I appreciate that.
Yes, anytime I can help.
Thank you. And you have your little baby here. Do you want to introduce him?
I do. So I've named this
Kittens right
baby
here.
Texas because he is such a big boy already. And I just decided I was going to name this whole batch that I just received Texas city names. So any kind of city, but him, since he's close to my heart, he's just Texas.
Texas. Yes, and Texas was very sick like less than a week ago. We didn't know if he was going to make it. And Andi learned how to tube feed for the first
Yes.
time. So she has saved his life by tube feeding him and also doing the nebulizer. And I saw him like 3 or 4 days ago and he looks so much better and he sounds so much better. So that's so exciting.
Really was a really scary experience. I've lost one kitten and I remember how heartbreaking that was.
Yeah.
So to get Texas back to, some kind of normal was a huge, huge success for me. And just really seeing him move and act like a real kitten or a little kitten instead of being all gunky and sounding so congested and really just not wanting to eat at all.
Yeah.
So from the brink of death to, now even I threw him in with his his siblings, and he was able to like run around. He wasn't as playful as they are, but he
Yeah.
was able to interact with them.
That's awesome. And he was one of a baby from a mom. You do have the mama cat,
Hmm.
but he was really struggling, and you caught it right away that he was dropping weight,
Hmm.
and we got on it right away, and here he is.
Yeah, just a few days ago he was 198 grams, and today he is 266 grams,
Whoa.
which really takes a lot of effort and a lot of patience to get these boys right back up. Look at him; he's
Look at that's
trying to
amazing.
bite me, and he's purring, and it just takes a lot of commitment. Every 3 hour feedings and keeping him on a heating pad and really just showering him with a lot of attention and love. I will say I do have a great assistant. His name is Lolly. He is a 75-pound lab that
Yes.
loves to clean him and lick on Texas. And I think they're going to be fast friends forever because this one might be a foster fell since,
Really?
yeah, I was like, I don't need another cat. But this one may be my foster fell.
Aw, that's awesome. Okay, so we kind of just jumped into it, but can you introduce yourself to everybody and who are you outside of fostering?
Yeah, so my name is Andi Tavarez. I live in Dickinson. I've been a resident of Dickinson for about 2 years. Before that, I was on the island for 21 years. I became in the rescue world probably about 8 years ago. I was particularly interested in fostering hairless animals. So I got my first foster fell, which is a Chinese crescent. And then I really love the Mexican hairless dogs. And at one point, we got really slow. So I went to the Galveston shelter and started rescuing there. I will say both of the rescues that I had were adopted by family members of mine. So I still have a lot of visits and I get to see updates all the time. Um, then that's how I got hooked up with Lifeline. I attended a bottle baby class, and that's where I was introduced to the need of the kittens.
Yes.
But outside, my real life job is working out in the community still. I am I've been employed for the state in community, some kind of community with our kids, foster care kids, kids in custody of CPS. So I work there full time. That would be my job there. I also volunteer a lot for the Houston Rodeo, and that's been my life for the last month. Um, I am a mom of a daughter who graduated from UT last year. Hook 'em.
Woo!
And I have a 13-year-old son that shoots shotguns and loves clay sports. I also been married for about 25 years. So that's kind of like my full time gig. And then, of course, I have a house full of pets. Caroline,
Yes.
three labs, a black one,
They're
a
all
green
so
one, a
handsome.
yellow one. When you love something, you have to get it in every color. So I have every color lab. And then I have some barn cats that help me with the armadillos and those darn possums. Um, so yeah, I'm a little bit of a overachiever. Love all things.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And how does your family do they enjoy the fostering?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they help out, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm lucky. I have my kiddos. I have my husband that's super supportive of everything
That's hard
fostering.
to find.
I really call him a foster dad that he doesn't even realize he's a foster dad, but for some reason he's like a cat magnet, and they all come to him and want to be with him. So he's like the man behind the scenes with the chewy orders and the heavy lifting.
Aw.
Um, but yeah, I have support of him and my mother-in-law, and my daughter was able to hold this little guy down. You wouldn't think they needed to be held down for some backup on putting that tube down his throat, but
Yeah,
I really did need some help there.
that's awesome.
Mhm.
Okay, so you've been with Lifeline since the out of the house days. So that was like before we even had a facility.
Right.
What was that like from your perspective, like working with a group that was really just brand new?
Yeah, I really love those, just from the roots down, just kind of
Yeah.
getting out there and helping. Those are the kind of agencies or nonprofits that I really like to be a part of, starting from that ground because we really don't have that much backup, right? It's
Yeah.
just us. It's just we're calling each other when we're having a fading kitten or we have to go to the doctor or whatever it is. So I enjoyed it. I really really enjoy having that personal connection, not
Mhm.
only with our animals and but with you and the other members of Lifeline.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think was your first fostering like spicy babies?
Hmm.
You did the sleepovers.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I started taking in the kittens is a sleepover, right? And then I enjoy the sleepovers, and I really love spicy cats. So anything
Yes.
that doesn't want to be hugged, kissed, and held, that would be my passion. So like
Yes.
anything I can wrap in a burrito and it can hiss at me and I can kiss it and kiss it and kiss it until it just enjoys it, that would be my jam.
Yes, I was like, you're the spicy expert. Um, so what draws you? That's actually one of the questions on here. What draws you to those challenging cases? Like, what is it about the spicies? Is it just because you can
They
make
just
them
turn
friendly?
around. I
Yeah,
mean, they just turn around. I'm lucky to work from home and have my desk and kind of my kennels where I keep the kittens very, very close.
yeah,
So they get tortured constantly by me. And they're exposed really quickly to all things household
yeah.
loudness, dogs, kids.
Hmm.
I mean, they're just kind of traumatized, exposed. Like, here you are, you're in a family now, and it's just there's a cartoon, I guess back when my daughter was small, and there was a girl that was just like, I'm gonna hug you and kiss you and never leave you alone. That's just kind of me. And so I really just love that part of, I'm not gonna say torturing them, but making them love me.
Yeah, the
And
force cuddles.
yeah, the forced cuddles and even if it's an adult, I don't mind. I'm not scared of the cat. So
Hmm.
I mean,
That's
I'm
so true.
totally
You're
fine.
like really not scared of the cats.
Yeah, and so they just come around. I mean, patience and a lot of love that
Hmm.
just come around. It's just remarkable that what you can do. with a cat that, we think that's going to be a barn cat, but
Yeah.
really becomes a porch kitty and then is just kind of thriving out there, right? So
Yeah.
that's always a nice, um, after all the all the traumatic events that we think this cat's not going to make it or is not going to be adoptable, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, in
Um,
some capacity.
they are. That's awesome. Okay. How has your approach to fostering changed over the years? What have you learned about yourself or just about the process through all of your experiences?
What I learned quickly, because my husband's a total buzzkill, but I can't adopt them all, or I
Yeah.
can't. If I adopt one more, our kitchen is closed. He says. So what I've learned is I have to give them up in
Mhm.
order to help someone else, and so that's really, really been a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Is you give, your whole heart and sweat and tears and time of all, right? You give your time to these animals, and it's just like a baby. You see their first steps, their first hugs, their first love, their first everything. Like I'm hearing him purr, this is like a first for us. um so just really letting them go. i
Yeah.
think i think just having that, ability just to let them go and thrive somewhere else. So yeah, I think that's just been a big lesson learned, and something that was hard for me at first.
Mhm.
And everyone involved. Remember, I had a batch last October, was it 2 Octobers ago, that they were all Halloween babies. And my mom was the one that threw a big fit. So I ended up keeping one, which was Mikey, Michael Myers. He was a Halloween baby. Get it? Okay. So we have him. He's also a little barn cat of mine.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really just, loving them for this short amount of time and then letting them go.
Do you have any like tips for anyone on that, or was it really just that understanding of in order to help more, you have to let them go?
Yeah, so I have a lot of friends that I always reach out to and like, you can do this. Like,
Yeah.
you can do it. I mean, it doesn't take that much time. It's just really giving something, 15 minutes every couple of hours. If that's feeding them, that's taking them out. If it's just wrapping them in a burrito and torturing them for a minute. If you have 15 minutes every, couple of hours, you can so do this job. But yeah, and everyone tells me the same thing. I don't think I can give them up.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely true. You fall in love with each and every foster.
Yeah.
But you have to know that there's 10 more waiting for you that needs your help. I mean, if it's a bottle baby, that's probably going to be another one right after this one grows.
Yeah.
Or if it's a full grown dog that needs some house manners, just
Mhm.
knowing that there's always someone else. And as sad as it sounds, you do miss them, but the first time you get another one, you're okay again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
I totally relate to that. Even like doing this and like it's like my job, it's what I do all the time and I foster too. And have a hard time like saying goodbye and it's always hard, but and I'm like, in it, like I see the need like every day. It's come blowing up my phone, so
mm,
it's hard to say bye, but it's like that trade-off we make
I mean,
to
it's
help
life or death.
them.
Like
It's literally life or death.
yeah. So
It's
I
literally
know this
life or death.
adorable kitten is going to get adopted. Then soon as it hits,
Yeah.
the shelter floor, your floor, right? I know it
Yeah.
is, and it really is. If I don't give this one up, it's just one more that's dying. Because of course, as we know, shelters don't have the capacity to bottle feed all the babies that come in, right?
Right.
So it's really life or death.
Absolutely. And I know from like the aspect of the person managing them getting adopted, one of the things that I try to think about all the time is how can I make our fosters feel confident in our adoption policies and what we're doing for the animals so that they can feel comfortable letting them go. That's always a big focus. And my biggest one I always tell people is the microchip. The microchip is always backtracks to us, and we take that chip so seriously that if one of our animals needs us and ends up somewhere, then we're going to figure out how to go get them,
Yeah, and
and
that's
so
yeah, it's
and we're going to bring
absolutely
them
true.
back into the program.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, it's happened to me. I had a barn cat that disappeared for a couple of months
mhm.
and then ended up at League City. And you called me and you're like, hey,
Oh, I didn't even remember that.
Yeah,
I was like, "Hey."
it was Reba.
Oh, okay.
That
Yeah.
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 So you had a barn cat that we thought was not gonna be adoptable or whatever, and I was like, "Well, I'll take it and put it outside, he could be my
Yeah.
barn kitty." Ended up attaching to my mom, but anyways, before that, just ran away. As soon as I put him out, ran
Mhm.
away.
Yeah.
Um, Lesson learned, my mistake. I should have put him in a kennel for, 2 weeks and made
Also
him
my
know.
mistake for not telling you that. So,
No, no, but you always think, "Oh, they're gonna be fine,"
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But no, she needed to be in that 2-week decompression stage, knowing that we're feeding them and taking care of her, and then open the garage door and do all the things. And I didn't
Yeah.
do that step, which again, lesson learned. But she came back, and
Yeah.
she really is not a barn cat. She's very much a porch kitty.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so they do come back, and if they are lost, they will come back to us.
Yeah.
And so I was just happy, pleasantly surprised and happy that she came back.
Yeah.
She's ours again.
Absolutely. And I mean, you can't take I'm a control freak probably, but like you can't control everything. There's always going to be risks, but
Right.
we try to do everything we can to make sure these guys are set up for success. And that fosters can feel confident and comfortable getting them adopted.
Yeah, and something else that I want to make sure everybody understands is like if you take fosters, everything that you need will be provided.
Mhm.
So it's not like you're on a struggle bus by yourself with all the needs. I mean, that makes it a little bit easier if that what makes you think, okay, well, I can't afford another animal, but you have the time. Everything's provided. You just
Yeah.
kind of have to want to do it.
And I think when Kathy was on, we kind of talked about it. It's also like a hobby. So
It
like,
is.
for example, now you're becoming like a more and more advanced foster
Mhm.
because now you know how to bottle feed. Now you know how to tube feed. Now you know how to do like like all of
Mhm.
that stuff. And so I think that's something else. Another way people can maybe get excited about it is that you can become an expert in something, and it's literally you can become an expert in saving animals,
Mhm.
which is
Yeah.
cool. Which is
Yeah.
cool. So
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I bought a lot of the dogs. I know if they just came in my house, they would get doggy manners really, really quick, and they would learn how to dog
yeah,
because of my voice.
so true.
So I mean, you got to know that your dog could be almost like their peer, their intern, if you
So
would, and
true.
really
Yeah.
teaching them how to dog. Because a lot of them that come to us don't. They don't
Yeah.
know how to dog. It's
Or
ridiculous.
they've been in a shelter for months that they like forgot how to
Mhm.
dog. They've been in solitary confinement
Right.
essentially.
Yeah.
So,
So,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's scary. And we all have had our, traumatizing, dogs that unfortunately are a little bit more than we signed up for.
Yeah.
And that usually is just aggression. It's not really anything else, right? So, I think, jump in if you can only take one at a time and it's a younger cat, take the younger cat and just slowly
Dip your toe in.
yeah, dip
Yeah.
your toe in because there's always a room to help somewhere in any capacity.
Absolutely. And that's like our sleepover program is so designed for that. You can come in on a Sunday afternoon and take a pet for 1 to 3 days. And that's one of my favorite things to let new fosters know about to just, that's such a small commitment that and it's also like, you have to get to know the organization too. So, um, we get that we have to build that confidence with our fosters for them to want to foster with us. So, by doing that short term thing, you can just get to know the organization and if it's the right fit and all
Yeah,
of
for
that.
sure.
So,
I mean, I've volunteered with other organizations that maybe weren't the fit for me or what I
mhm.
needed, and that's okay. You can finish your commitment and you can move on, but there's
Yeah,
always something else for you to do.
that's so true. And like, I'm not really a foster hoarder, and I'm also probably one to like just try to be transparent, honest with the foster. Like, hey, that's just not how we do things here, but there might be an organization that does that, and you should absolutely continue fostering with that organization because it is about a fit. There's different, just different like vibes, I guess, if that's for lack of a better term when it comes to organizations. So
Yeah,
that's a good
or a
point.
different breed or
Yeah, if you want to do a
whatever.
breed specific
Yeah.
rescue or like your hairless dogs.
Yeah, I love my hairless dogs. again, I have a foster fill. I have a Chinese crescent. Everybody thinks the ugliest dog on earth, and doesn't understand why my, foster, well, my a dog wears a diaper. And I have to explain to them, look, he was from a hoarding situation with 21 dogs coming in. Some were living and some were dying.
Yeah.
And he never was properly potty trained. And
Yeah.
so he will always probably wear a diaper.
He's your best guard dog
Yeah.
then.
He's the only one that bites. He's about 8 pounds, and he's
Not hard though.
yeah,
Just warning.
he will bite, and it's not it's sad. My 130 size labs won't bite, but
Yeah.
he will bite.
He's very handsome though. He's very handsome. Um what does your foster setup look like these days, and how do you balance, I mean, we've kind of talked about this, but how do you balance like the fostering with work and parenting and other life things?
Yeah, so make sure you know like what your time commitment is
Mhm.
for the pets that you foster, right? So there's sometimes a dog or cat will come in and just fit just great in your situation, right? They are potty trained, they know how to use a doggy door,
Mhm.
so maybe that commitment is just almost like on your daily routine, and all you're doing is feeding and letting them out, and you already have a pack that does it anyway, so it's not a huge deal.
Yeah.
And then there's these kittens that take a huge amount of commitment. Now, I will say I was blessed to have a really good mama cat, and
Mhm.
it's really not completely on me, because the mama cat does most of the work for her kittens, right?
Yeah.
It's just when you see one struggling, that's kind of what makes you have to put your mama hat on, right? And kind of supplemental feed,
Yeah.
or sometimes even take the baby away, right? And that would take more of a commitment, but a lot of us do get to work from home. And so, I mean, I think it's a great work from home gig,
Mhm.
because every 3 hours you have to get up and stretch, and every 3 or 4 hours they need to eat, right? So, it doesn't take me very long. I mean, it's really at this point, it takes me maybe 5 minutes to
Mhm.
kind of just feed him and weigh him, and put him back in his little cage. Like, I have a carrier with me now, and I
Mhm.
have the heating pad with me. Look at him biting me.
That's amazing. That's so good cuz he was like
Yeah.
not acting like that a few days ago.
And so no, I mean, I guess it's just like whatever your commitment is, and if it's just saving someone and you want to be a part and you want to make an impact, like we know, like, okay, this is a house cat. We just need to see what she likes or doesn't like, basically. So is she gonna do good with dogs? Is she gonna do good with kids? And they're gonna do good. So like bringing them home and they're pretty good at dogging or being normal cats already, it's perfect. Like if you just want the normal cat, that we have them.
Yeah.
We just need to see what they are like at home and how they do in a home setting. So your commitment may be just that week, and we
Yeah.
know they're perfect with dogs. Like, I'll tell you all the time, this is a perfect house cat. Like, it does not need to be here. It needs to be at the shelter and being adopted. Like,
Yeah.
they're perfect. Like, I mean, love dogs, all the
He's
things,
so cute.
like all the things.
Yeah.
So I'm really, like, and I'll tell y'all, like, he's perfect. Like, I would not, he should not be here. Like, he needs to be there
Yeah, to
and
getting
be
adopted.
adopted, like, because he's that perfect.
Yeah.
And I've had numerous cats like that just like fit in, like I could keep them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
then that's always helpful for us too because we can be like, this is exactly how they did in a home.
yeah, I mean, it was
So,
great.
yeah.
So, like, again, it's just what your commitment is. And if you know you can just, are you able to have that extra body? Because sometimes the dogs weigh about extra body. Then I would jump in. I mean, it's just, even if it is that sleepover,
Just a short
to
thing.
kind of just commit to the sleepover. And
Mhm.
then if that animal fits in your life, then let it slide over, and then maybe it can be a short-term adoption, or sorry, not adoption, foster, and then maybe it can kind of give us an idea of what kind of family or what kind of match it needs.
Yeah.
I know I've told, okay, this cat hates dogs, or doesn't like to be handheld or whatever it is. But
And we
again,
can usually still, even with that, it's still good because we can find that home for them. We just need to know that so that we can say, like, hey, when you go home, this cat took several days to unwind and foster. So there's a good chance that this cat's going to take several days to come out of their shell with you, as too. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I had one that didn't come out of the box spring of my mattress for like a week or two, and
Yeah.
we had to literally go pry her out every day, or let her kind of just find, just leave her there, calm her
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, put some stuff
So,
close to her.
yeah.
That's normal for a cat,
Yeah,
though, or
but
somewhat
like
normal.
kind of
Yeah.
gets scary after a week. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, what's going on with the cat? Um, so yeah, I mean, again, it's just whatever time frame you have, I'm sure we can make it work.
Yeah. And I would like to say, like, that's great. Like, this kitten specifically, the mom and babies were actually with a different foster, and she didn't have the time to commit to a critical baby. And so, once he started to show some signs of being critical, that's when we called up Andy and was like, hey, do you think you can take on this family? And this baby is going to need a lot of extra work. And it worked out for you right now. So,
Yeah.
um, that's amazing. That's why we love having a foster network and having lots of fosters, because then we were able to open, actually, in that foster family that had this family has taken in another mom cat and babies that are a little bit older. So hopefully we won't have a crashing baby, but if they do, then we'll deal with that.
Yeah.
So
And circling back to the setup, right? Like you asked me, like,
yeah.
what is your setup? I don't have an elaborate setup.
Well,
I
I think
mean,
I saw it. It's pretty good for your,
I
I
mean,
mean,
it
it
works.
fits into your, yeah.
It works. I mean, yes, I have extra bedrooms upstairs, but I really like to have my fosters with me at all times. So just because I want them around people, things, loudness, life, right?
Yeah.
So I have probably like most of us live in a house that had everybody had a jacuzzi tub back in the days, right? And so I have a massive jacuzzi tub and you've seen it. I have
Yeah.
a little scratching post in there and a bed and some toys and my babies are just in there. And then I also
Bathtubs are really good for babies.
yes, it's
Yeah.
just a bathtub. Like if you, I mean, and I'm okay with giving up my bathtub for them to have a place.
Yeah.
Now we know that they're going to be jumpy babies soon, but I do have a full size, pretty large dog kennel, also in my bathroom that fits in a corner. Um, and I, if it's a feisty one or one that needs to be separated, then that's where they go, right?
Yeah.
And then I don't have much. I'll have a litter box in there, some water, some food, and like a hanging bed, those hammock beds, I guess you would call it, and a scratching post.
Yeah.
And it's pretty basic.
No, perfect. And like when he was critical, you had him in that kennel, and it was, I assume, nice at night too, because if you have to go and take care of him, you can just go right in there. You're not like trying to
Yeah.
go a million places.
It's and and again, it's not like high tech. Like I have, like you said, I have a little kennel, a little carrier,
Yeah.
and I have a heating pad in there for him. And with just a doggy pad so that if any messes in there, right? Nothing elaborate. Um, I don't have to go to the kitchen. I just get a tablespoon and I have an old jar that a spice jar. Put 1 tablespoon of food in. I let the water warm up a little bit in the bathroom, and I
Yeah.
just put 2 tablespoons of water in. I mix it up, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like it's not like an elaborate thing. I mean, I'm feeding him. His eye drops are right there because he got gunky eyes,
Yeah.
and after I feed him, I turn on his vaporizer, and we just do it. Again, I know it sounds like a lot, but it really is not. Especially if you are, have a routine with the
The
babies.
system down.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's really not that bad. And as far as the other littles, they're perfect. They're happy.
They're so fat
They're
and
so fat
chunky.
and playful now, and I know any minute they're going to start jumping out of the bathtub. So I was telling you, okay, I think I need a catio now.
Yeah.
Haven't found one on Facebook Marketplace, but if anybody has one, y'all can let me know because I'm looking for a tall catio for my soon to be very, very big foster
Yes.
babies.
That's amazing.
And just hearing this baby purr is just a
That's so
whole new
good.
love because he could barely breathe and his raspiness was so scary.
I wasn't sure if he was going to pull through. So I'm very excited. That's awesome. Okay, so we're getting close to the end here. So is there anything you want to share with the Lifeline fam, folks, or people listening who maybe never heard of us before? You
Yeah,
know.
so Lifeline is just really like a grassroots organization. Any help that you could give, it goes straight back to the animals. All we're really asking for is a little bit of time. If I know everybody has money issues or don't think they have enough time or money to contribute. Um, I'm a $10 monthly donor, right? It's
Woo!
$10. It's,
Got
I put
excited.
it on my, it's just auto draft. It's $10. It's less than, it's right up there with your Starbucks run, but it's only one time a month. It's $10. Our minimal is $10, I think, right?
You could do $5
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at my husband when I first learned about it, and I was like, can we give $10?" And he was like, "I think we can give more, Andy." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna sign us up for $10 right now." And
Yeah.
so, I mean, it's little as $10 a month, but with that $10 a month, at least Caroline knows what our budget is, that
Yeah.
it's money coming in because grants aren't always coming in every day.
Yeah.
But if we have those $10 a month donors, she knows how many sick babies we can take and what we can have.
Yes.
So again, I know it's either 10, I mean, it don't have to be all or nothing. It can be simply that $10 a month, or it could be housing that family of kittens or a full grown cat that really doesn't need much at all. So yeah, I would say just really come out, check out her spot. I mean, she was kind of out of her house, and now
Out of the
now she
car.
has a whole spot. I mean, it's great just to be part of a small community that is really just trying to help all the animals in Galveston County. So yeah, I would just say if you can start with $10. If you can't start with $10, please come and help volunteer at the shelter, or think about volunteering or adopting with Lifeline.
Yay.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Awesome. It's like, I don't need to say anything else. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being such an amazing foster mom. You're great. You're always down to try something new. You're very good at communicating, and like also you're just pretty laid back, which I appreciate. So
No problem. I'm here to help. And again, I just wanted to show everyone what a little bit of time and effort leads to, which is Texas right here.
Texas is alive, and
Yeah. And
that's
doing well.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yes,
So just a
doing
little
well.
time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right. Bye, everyone.